Just when you thought it could not get any worse. It's a rainy day here in Vancouver. It's honestly like the rain's a bit thicker than normal. Am I the only one that feels that right now? But you might hear some pitter-patter because I do record these videos beside a window, and we had ourselves some terrible, terrible news that may or may not actually be a big deal. But for now, I'm starting to feel like the hockey gods are toying with our hearts, because earlier today, you had Adam Kimmelman of NHL.com go out there and tweet this that got everybody in Vancouver ablaze, and that started the pity party here, raining down on this city as hard as the real-life rain. Take a look at this tweet. Canucks forward Brock Boeser left practice early. It appeared that he got hit in the left hand or wrist area by a shot during a power play drill. Oh dear. Oh, dear, 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 goodness gracious. Come on! Brock Boeser? Okay, let's try to, take this rationally here. There were a bunch of replies of everybody freaking out. When it rains, it pours, Dr. Harjas Gruwal says. Pavel Bure's Flow says, I don't ever want to hear this franchise is not cursed ever again. There then was a tweet made by Adam Crawford asking the question, how much do you want to bet it was Elias Pettersson's shot that hit him? And yeah, there's a lot of people kind of replying to that, memeing around, oh, that's funny. Very unlikely since Elias Pettersson never shoots. Myler Tires goes out there and says, so this would have been worst case scenario, right? If Canucks forward Brock Boeser was indeed out, but there was a reply. This was tweeted out by Harmon Dale about half an hour later. Rick Tocchet said that he thinks that Brock Boeser is fine, that Brock didn't mention anything to him about this. And then the reply asks, how quick does fine become day-to-day? And that's a very legitimate question because, as we have been seeing with the Vancouver Canucks, sure, they had themselves a relatively injury-free year. With the exception of Thatcher Demko towards the end of it, everybody was for the most part pretty healthy. And you could debate whether or not there were guys that were secretly hurt that we did not know about. Like, oh, Elias Pettersson, was he banged up? Was he bruised? Donnie and Dolly was talking about this the other day on their post-game show, that for EP40, it's maybe not necessarily that like, oh, he's hurt, he's dealing with something, he's got this. But an 82-game season is long, and Pettersson played all the games. Now you're in the playoffs, where the intensity has ratcheted up tenfold. You have to remember this as well. I wanted to make this point in a video, and I think this is the right opportunity to do that. But when the Vancouver Canucks had that bubble run in 2020, we could all agree it was a good run. They beat Minnesota in the play-in. They beat St. Louis in the first round. They made it to one goal within the third round. They were seriously like one goal away from tying Vegas and potentially winning Game 7. Bubble Demko was alive and well. Brock Boeser missed that empty net on the cross crease, and that still haunts me to this day. But the Vancouver Canucks played that quote-unquote playoff run after half a year's worth of a break. The NHL paused on March, 13, 2020, or it might have been the 12th, something like that. And the Stanley Cup play-in series did not begin until, August? So March, April, May, June, July, that's 5 months worth of a break. 5 months worth of resting time and healing time, where we had people staying inside and social distancing. We had no outside interference, and a lot of time for these guys to just sit around. I mean, Adam Gaudette started streaming his Warzone games. He would play with Elias Pettersson. Pettersson would stream games too. He was playing Scriblio with BB No Money. There was a lot of free time, and so when it comes to that playoff run versus this one, sure, you could say, yeah, Elias Pettersson was on fire in that playoff run. I saw a video the other day on Twitter of just Elias Pettersson 2020 bubble playoff highlights, and that was an amazing video. The guy can shoot, the guy can pass, the guy has precision, and it's so fluid. He's dangling the pants off of St. Louis defenders on that, and that is not the PD that we are seeing in this playoff run. Well, guess what? That Pettersson in the bubble had 5 months worth of a break before coming back and playing games. What happened when Elias Pettersson started out this season with a 5-month break? He was dominant. Pettersson was the top point scorer in the NHL for a moment in October, and now it's been 82 games, admittedly the very first time he has played 82 games, and the rampant up and away style of the playoffs is now in his face, and this is the first time he is ever dealing with it. He's had 80-game seasons in the past, yada yada yada, but he never made the playoffs in those seasons until now. So I actually do believe it when Dalibor goes out there and says that Pettersson is hurt, he's banged up, he's this, he's that. Maybe it's one of the reasons why he doesn't shoot the puck as much anymore, and his decision-making with it has not been there. But of course, this is just an entire tangent on the Brock Boeser conversation. Tocchet said Boeser is probably fine, or he thinks Boeser is fine, but if it is true that he left practice early because he might have gotten hit in the hand with a shot, then yeah. Who knows what this team is going to be capable of without Boeser, Myers, and Demko in the lineup. Myers, hopefully the guy's back. I mean, he was out only with the flu, so who knows how long that's going to last. Speaking about Thatcher Demko, though, we did have ourselves an update here from Rick Dalibor. Take a look at this Twitter post. I was going to say Twitter video, but no, it is literally just a Twitter post. So, right here, Dalibor Sports speaks about Thatcher Demko. The fact that Demko can travel and walk is a very positive sign. A lot of this is wait and see. He won't play in the Nashville series, but if they get to round 2, some think maybe he can play late in the second round. People are asking if Demko needs surgery. I'm not hearing he needs surgery. A lot of the reports are that this is a serious injury and he could be out months and months. I'm not hearing that. So at the very least, there seems to be a good enough timeline for Demko to be able to recover and maybe come back and do something if the Canucks make it to the second round. Maybe against Edmonton, maybe against LA, who knows who it's going to be. But there is some doubt. I mean, there are replies here asking whether or not this would actually be legit. I mean, Brett says, with all due respect, I can walk with a torn ACL, I can walk with a torn MCL. That doesn't mean I can play hockey. Other replies are saying pretty similar things, whether or not this actually would be recoverable. And then there are a lot of doomers saying, yeah, no, DeSmith is not winning the series, the Canucks cannot win against Nashville with DeSmith. They're doomed because no Demko, Artur Silovs should get the start, yada yada yada. A lot of panic about Casey DeSmith, and admittedly, I don't know if it's really fully justified. I get it, DeSmith wasn't perfect in the game 2 that he had played, but I don't know if Artur Silovs really is giving the Canucks a better chance to win. Maybe mindset-wise, Silovs does have an advantage because, I mean, look, last time Jim Rutherford had himself a rookie goaltender suit up and become a main guy in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, Matt Murray won the cup. Same thing could be said about Marc-Andre Fleury because they kind of swapped around starter backup role those years. Then you also had Cam Ward with the Carolina Hurricanes when their main guy went out. So there is an opportunity here for some storybook fairy tale magic to occur, but I don't know if it's really possible. Is it projectable? I have no idea. Casey DeSmith, Artur Silovs, no Thatcher Demko until round 2 if the Canucks even get that far. I don't know, man. Maybe it is the Doomer Vancouverite in me, but this series, it seems chalked, bro. I have no clue as to where it's going to go, especially with Brock Boeser potentially being hurt as well. I hope Rick Tocchet is right. I really, really hope he is. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks injury updates, how Brock Boeser seems to have been maybe blocking a shot, maybe hurt, who really knows. We have a loose timeline of recovery for Thatcher Demko. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinions about Elias Pettersson and the entire banged up, maybe hurt, maybe not situation, because he definitely has not been playing like himself. Thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Game 3 is tomorrow in Nashville, so we'll see how that goes. And bye.